What are you riding, Shane? What is that?
Oh, it's an Onyx bike.
Oh, nice.
Onyx RCR. Today, we're gonna swap out the throttle and right side controls with new ones. Apparently, his on-off button is failing. He was gunning it, and the bike shut off, and it gives it a little bit of shudder. So that's not good. So we're gonna get that fixed up right away.
All right, sounds scary. So what are we replacing it with?
So Ed has already gone ahead and done a little bit of research, and apparently what everybody's replacing those throttles with is this Domino throttle. It's supposed to be pretty nice, and it feels pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. And then he also purchased these two handlebar mount buttons, and this is going to be the on-off switch, and this is going to be the three-way mode select switch. And that way we should be able to replace all the controls on there with new controls, and they should be a little bit nicer. I think they'll look nicer for sure. Hopefully they'll last longer too.
Sweet, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get it done. Step one, we got to get everything on the bars, off the bars. So there's a hex key below this throttle, and let's see if we can get that. So if you're at home and you don't have an air compressor and your grip is stuck on there good, and that's usually how it is, I want to say. So one thing I've learned from YouTube is sometimes you can take a zip tie. This one's a little big. We might try the smaller one. If you can jam the zip tie in there, you can take a little bit of isopropyl. You can just drip it in there a bit and try to work the isopropyl into the grip. You can kind of lubricate the inside surface so it'll just come out. I might have to take this off so I can get the zip tie in there a bit better. So let's get that done. All right, so now we can scoot this back a bit. Now we can really work the zip tie in there. You want to get that in there. It's pretty tough. There we go. Nice. And you can see the isopropyl on the bar. But that's a trick if you don't have an air compressor. The air compressor is obviously a lot easier. There we go. Got it. So we got to undo. There's 4 M10 bolts, and we got to undo those so we can take the seat off. Go. We got all 4 off. Okay, that took a while. It's going to take you a while, but once you have all 4 off, they come off, and you can kind of see why that took me so long, because these studs are really long. Now that we have that off, and the reason we have to get that off is because there's one bolt at the top here that you can't access when the seat is on normally. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 M3 flat kind of pan heads, and the panel should just come off. Oh, we did it. We definitely could pull this through, but I have a feeling that if we pull it through, it's not going to be easy to get pulled back out. So I think we know it. I can say pretty confidently now that the move is probably going to be to chop it. Pretty sweet. So yeah, I think that for this particular mod, there's quite a bit of space in here. The only thing in here is the main battery connector. So I don't think it's going to be too crowded. And then we can pin this side with the connector, and then everything should have enough wire such that we can connect it all to one connector. We should be able to plug it in. So I think that's the game plan. Let's do it. All right, so we've freed the old throttle and button assembly. And what we're going to be replacing in the end is this latching push button. This is a 3-way toggle switch, and the actual throttle, which it's 3 pins. It's the Hall effect sensor. So I'm going to go power button first because it's the least used. And then I'm gonna go 3-way switch. Right about there. There we go. It's a little touch looser like that. So it looks like it's really meant to be mounted like this, but I'm gonna mount it like so, so it kind of nests nicely with the buttons. Okay, those are on there good. So I think that's about the position we want them in. The throttle feels good. You can't put the throttle too far in, otherwise it'll make contact on the outside and it won't spin freely. And then you just want to make sure these are about within reach. The power button could be a little further away. Okay, cool. So now we can kind of route these into the bike. There's been a change of plans. This Domino throttle is not quite long enough. Since we're gonna be soldering anyways, I figure we might as well just solder up everything and then essentially make like one really long cable that ends in this plug. If you wanted to, you could just solder up this. You could just extend this and then put it on a connector if you really wanted to do connectors. It was one wire before, so it seems pretty reasonable that we can just keep it as one wire. So let's do it. So now what I'm gonna do is get this, I'm gonna chop these other two leads down to length and then we can get soldering. I just need some solder.
Nice.
Yeah, really good. Nice, wait.
Sweet.
Yes, we've done it.
Good. So we can turn off the battery now, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we've done it. Looks like a success. Let's see, let's make sure everything still works. Nice. Turn it on. Turn it off. Does brake light still work? Yep. It still works. Okay, so everything works. We're ready to button up. Fine.
It's all done? It's all hooked up?
All right, we got it. We did it. We did it. We got it all hooked up. Just like we set out to do, just like we said in the beginning, we set out to swap out the throttle and the rear controls, and that's exactly what we did successfully. So we replaced the throttle, the 3-button mode select, and then the on-off switch. And it looks good. I'm really happy. It turned out really clean.
Hello. Sweet. You want to test it out?
Let's go give it a rip.
Are you going to check it out? Oh, okay.
We'll give it a rip.
Who's going to do it? Here he goes. Looks like it's working.
Yes, it looks good.
Feels good?
Sweet.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more modding repair videos. See you all next time.